On what is happening in Bo-Kaap on the preservation of the culture and heritage of that well-known area. The DA's Ward 77 Councillor, Brandon Golding, joining us now via Skype. Brandon, good evening to you. Thank you for your time. What is the DA's stance on this?
Currently, what has happened is that the heritage overlay was proposed in 2015. Groundwork was then done by the city. It was held up. We admit it was held up. There were machinations, I suppose, in the process. With the change in dispensation, I've in this past week met with the new mayor to request that the implementation is now expedited. I'm hoping that this overlay, as asked for by all the residents, will as soon as possible. That's the commitment that I've received from the mayor's office. So they are looking at this very strongly, and hopefully it will be implemented very soon.
Brandon, let's talk about consultation here for a moment. The Bo-Kaap youth movement have said on a number of occasions that consultation with the community has not taken place. Can you put it on record that you did go to those who are in charge of Bo-Kaap, for example, the community leaders, and consultation was held with them?
Consultation on the current overlay was done slightly more than 24 months ago, probably about 30 months ago. Its participation process is open to the public. Mr. Shabadim from Bo-Kaap Civic would also have had comment in on this. We have had chats around this for the previous 24 months. What may well happen is that this may go back out for consultation. We're waiting for the recommendation to that now. But we definitely want to hear from all people on this.
One of the concerns, it seems, if I understand the argument from the Bo-Kaap youth movement, is that they want to understand how this is going to uplift the community. So any time, Brandon, that there is some sort of development in a part of Cape Town, people want to know how is it going to uplift their particular tight-knit community. How do you see that playing out in Bo-Kaap at the moment?
Okay, from a heritage point, what you have is the protection of a current resource which is there. It's a huge tourism magnet. It's really valuable in a Cape Town context. People want to actually know what is there, and heritage in a Bo-Kaap sense, it's buildings, but it's not just built form. It's actually culture. It's people. It's an open, caring group of people who are very proud of their heritage. And there's definite benefit in the sharing of that heritage. I do think that there's a broader benefit to the broader Cape Town by this overlay being there. Densification will still happen around the broader city, but we can't lose sight of what is happening on the ground and where we come from. So I do think there's a balance between tourism, between heritage growth, between housing. And I know that the youth have been looking at this. Bo-Kaap Civics look at this, and there are synergies there. What we need to understand is what that balancing point is.
Where do you see that balancing point?
The balancing point is we need to maintain what is there. We need to understand what the heritage asset is. Once it's gone, it's gone. But we also need to understand how, in a business sense, it is harnessed. So we're looking at increasing tourism, but Bo-Kaap-based tourism. Not just foreign tour operators coming in, but actually activating it within a Bo-Kaap sense. You know, a local making postcards as a very basic, which actually does drive economic activation in that space. Sharing food, sharing culture, there's a much broader benefit there.
Brandon, there are those who are going to argue this evening, as you and I sit here and talk, that while you are trying, by the sounds of it, to improve the experience of taking in the heritage of Bo-Kaap, it is being changed so much that you're essentially changing the essence of what it is. What do you say to those people as you continue to grow the area, but also seemingly are changing the area? What do you say to those critics?
That's the point of this overlay. It won't stop things dead, but it will put in guidelines, it'll manage, it'll heritage grade many buildings in that area. Any change which you'd want, be it from a cornice to a demolition, would need to go through Heritage Western Cape. I do know there are applications to the National Heritage Resource Council around certain sites. It's important that some of those key aspects are still there. It won't stop change, but it'll put it in a framework which will then be beneficial to all.
Just a final question to you, Brandon, just so you are aware, I am hoping to speak to Osman Shabudian. He is the chairman of the Bo-Kaap Civic Association in the next few minutes, just for you to be aware of that. What are you now asking the residents of Bo-Kaap this evening? They're clearly very angry. Clearly the youth movement have decided they don't like what's going on. What's your message to them this evening?
The heritage overlay is coming. It'll be there. Consultation will happen. It has happened. Have your say. And for those who are interested, those documents will be out soon. It's there to protect who you are in a built form and in a residential spirit. They are great people. There's so much passion. There's lots of love and openness. It's a beautiful site. It's beautiful people. And the aim is that we want to manage that, and we want you to help us manage that. So please comment, please feedback when it's there.
All right, Brandon Golding, thank you very much indeed. DA Ward 77 councillor speaking to us about the situation in Bo-Kaap. As I mentioned, I am hoping to speak to the Bo-Kaap Civic Association. It's Osman Shabudian in just a couple of minutes from now.